gotta switch the input. I'm gonna drop the faders so I don't get a pop. Okay, there we go. It's hard to play, it's hard to navigate through the universe, play DJ, and make sure the software works and all the other crap. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, the faders, hello. Oh, this is cool, actually. This map is good enough. I can actually see Sock's house. Okay. Let's see. Just come in like so. All right. Up here. So this is the causeway that goes across the moat, which is about just over 100 yards. This is Angkor Wat. And this was dug by slave labor about 1,000 years ago. And that's a reflecting pool. And the Sock's house is right here. And so let's come in over Angkor. This is Angkor Thom. And this is Ta Prohm, a temple that has, that's where Angelina Jolie was photographed with all the vines. The movie Tomb Raider. Let's see. Okay, let's come in a little closer. The Chinese have just bought an area over here as close as possible in. It was about 5 years ago. It seemed like somebody threw a switch and China started to send in massive tours of people coming in. This area was not the part of Cambodia that was bombed by the campaign. That was more of eastern Cambodia near the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Horrible part of the story. An English teacher I worked with, his grandmother grew up in the city that's featured in the killing fields where, in the beginning, where they mistakenly dropped a whole load of a B-52 on that town. Horrible stories, but also the Khmer Rouge did not really attack these temples. They considered them, as twisted as the Khmer Rouge was, they sort of revered the temples as an example of how great the Khmer people were in the 1,000 years ago in the ancient past that could build these temples. So here we see the multiple enclosures of Angkor, and this is a gallery that has a corbelled vault over it, an archway. So this is a frieze that's been cut. It's over a mile long if you were to walk the whole thing. And these are the Lotus Towers. There are 5 of them. The tallest one is here. That's where I put a little bit of my father's ashes. He was envious that I could travel places like this, and my dad was a tremendous artist. And my uncle was a pilot in World War II and inspired my brother to fly. And so when my brother was a pilot who passed away in an accident in 1984. But when I do this sort of, I call it flying, it's, but also to take you all with us and fly not only around Earth but other planets. I often feel that I'm sort of communing with my brother and my Uncle Bud in that. And so we don't have a sort of 3D of this, but still not bad. So this is indicative of not everywhere on the Earth do we have really great resolution like this, but this is kind of fun to share this a little bit with you. The temple with all the faces on it, let me just move over there for a second. That's through here. Actually, so there is a hill. This is Mount Makang, and it is northwest of Angkor. But from here, it was decided after there was a battle here that they would move into, put a moat around this area, which Angkor Thom, which means like city temple. And in the middle is where the temple the Bayan is, and Bayan is the one with all the faces that you see. There are 52 towers, each with 4 faces on them, with a large god-like faces, somewhat androgynous. I'm not quite sure if they're female or male, but that's right here, Taprom. Or no, Taprom's here, this is Bayan. And this was the palace over here. So this is a fortified wall, 2 miles on the side. All of this was occupied and now grown over by jungle. So actually, let's explore an area with more topography. It's interesting that northeast of the temples, up by Mount Kulang, which is farther up along this ridge, is where they're now scanning with radar or LiDAR from airplanes that can see through the jungle and actually map what's underneath, revealing for the first time the extent of the civilization. It's where the people lived. And they came in to build the temples and so forth, but this area right up in